Hey WWE Universe, so I'm doing my video on my WWE RAW World Tour show that I went to. It was on 12/30/2010, and it was definitely the best way to end my year. First we have the 15-man over-the-top battle royal, which was totally amazing. All the guys that I wasn't sure if they would be there were there. Ted DiBiase, we had Zack Ryder, Santino and Kozlov, and Mark Henry and William Regal and Alex Riley, and just a slew of people. I was so excited. It was such a good match. There were just men going all over the place. It was really hard. You were like, there's guys over here and over here and over here, and it was just so awesome. In the end, Ted DiBiase picked up the win. I was so happy, and so he had a match against Daniel Bryan for the United States Championship later in the night, which I couldn't wait for. Next, the Big Show came out and talked about John Cena and how he had gotten hurt, and he wanted to challenge Wade Barrett to a match. A steel cage match. I was happy. So he said, it would be later in the night, and Wade Barrett better come out and show up. So I was really excited for that. Next, we had Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov versus Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater for the Tag Team Championship, which I was like, oh crap, because it's not going to change hands. But Justin and Heath were like so funny. Him and Justin and Santino were like doing these funny moves at the beginning, and Justin and Heath were yelling at each other, and just, it was funny. It was kind of like they weren't in their mean Nexus character, and I really enjoyed it. And I swear, like, I was the only person in my area that was like screaming for Justin and Heath. Everyone was like, what is wrong with this kid? I'm like, nothing's wrong. I love them. But they ended up losing. I knew the titles wouldn't change hands, but they did a really great job, and I was really happy to be able to see Justin and Heath. That really made me happy. Next we had Melina, Alicia Fox, and Maurice versus the Bellas and Gail Kim. And the Bellas and Gail Kim were going around the ring, and all three of them touched my hand, so I was really happy. And they all looked absolutely beautiful because they were all dressed up Christmassy. And the Bellas and Gail Kim ended up winning. But it was just so funny. They were very involved with the people that were there, and it was just a really great match. I was really happy to see such a great Divas match. Next we have King Sheamus versus John Morrison in a street fight. That was awesome. I was not expecting that at all. They were just beating the crap out of each other with a kendo stick, and then this really long stick. It was like, it was different. I don't know how to explain it, but it was really huge, and it kind of scared me. But they were just going to town on each other, and it was so awesome. I was like, oh my god, this is a street fight, yay! So it was just back and forth. They were cutting each other up with the kendo stick. It was a great match, but John Morrison ended up winning. I really wanted to see King Sheamus win, but I was just happy to see such a great match. Next we had The Miz with Alex Riley versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. And first Randy came out, and I had my sign that said Fear the Viper on it, and Randy Orton looked at me, like, looked. I can't do his sexy look, obviously, but he looked at me, and wait, and I was like, oh my god, I just died. Anyway, and then Alex Riley had his butt in my face all night. Like, the barricade was here, and I was sitting, like, well, let's say my thumb is me. And Alex Riley was like this, and then he'd move, and then he'd be like this, and I was like, Alex Riley's butt is in my face. Oh my god. Heaven. Oh my god, it was heaven. Anyway, it was a really great match. It was very back and forth with Randy and The Miz. And Randy was definitely keeping his eye on Alex Riley. And then, at one point, Randy had smashed into the barricade right in front of me. And it freaked my dad out because he was like afraid the barricade was going to fall on me. And Randy Orton got up and was kind of leaning against it, so I touched Randy's arm and said, come on, Randy, you can do it. And I was like, oh my god, I just touched Randy Orton's baby oily arm. Oh my god. That was amazing. But in the end, The Miz retained his title because, he had a match Monday. So that was amazing. I'm really excited to see it. But then the general manager said, look, because Alex Riley interfered, he either has a match with Orton or he's suspended. So Randy just went to town on him. He was using the kendo stick, he was using that really long stick, he was using chairs, he just went to town on him, and Randy won. So I was really happy to see Randy compete twice in one night. Next we had Ted DiBiase with Maurice and Daniel Bryan with the Bella Twins for the United States Championship. And I had a sign for Daniel Bryan that said, "Daniel Bryan, my fave vegan," because he's a vegan. And I started screaming, I was like, "Daniel, Daniel!" And he looked at me and went like this, and I was like, "Oh my god." So that was pretty awesome. Daniel ended up retaining, and I was really happy, but it was such a great match. It was really funny. They both got really involved with the crowd. It was just great. I loved house shows. It was so funny. Excuse me. So Daniel Bryan won, but it was definitely a wonderful match. I really loved it. Next we have Tyson Kidd versus D.H. Smith, and Tyson's bodyguard was like, oh, he was so huge in person. He was kind of like, he wasn't standing right in front of me, he was kind of more to the side a little bit. Oh, he's huge. But Tyson and D.H. Smith had a great match. I love Tyson. He was such a bad boy. It was awesome. And so, excuse me, DH picked up the win, but I had messaged Tyson Kidd on Facebook and told him, "You did an amazing job Thursday. I really enjoyed seeing your match. Happy New Year." And he was like, "Thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed the show. Happy New Year." And I was like, oh, I died. Okay, and next, one of the best parts of the night. Justin Roberts, and for you guys that don't know, he is the announcer. Him and Eve Torres came out and were showing that they had like new cups. They had a World Tour shirt that you could buy, and they talked about the program. And so Eve threw out some shirts, and I was kind of sad because I was like, I wanted one. But I had brought a sign for Justin Roberts that said, "Justin Roberts, happy birthday," because his birthday was the day before. And I was waving it around, and he looked at me and smiled. So I was happy he acknowledged my sign. But then he was like, "Okay, we're going to have intermission. They need to set up the cage for the main event." And so he just kind of walked around. And then he got out of the ring, and he walked straight over to me. And he said, "Hi." And I was like, "Hi." And he was like, "I want to really thank you for my sign." And I was like, "Oh, you're so welcome, Justin." And he was like, "Can I sign it?" And I was like, "Of course you can." So I got my Sharpie out, which was in the bottom of my bag, and he was like, "This has to be the coldest Sharpie I've ever used." I was like, "I'm sorry, it's in the bottom of my bag." And so he signed it, and I have it right here. There it is. It says, "To Nicole, best wishes and thank you, Justin Roberts." So that was really sweet. And then he had a t-shirt in his hand, and he said, "Do you want a t-shirt?" And I was like, "Sure." So I had bought this earlier in the night because I wanted the shirt, but he gave me, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I wrote on it, and I put the date and all. But it has a bunch of the guys on it, and then on the back it says, "I was there." And that was absolutely the sweetest thing in the world. Thank you so much, Justin. And then, if things couldn't have gotten any better, he said, "Can we take a picture?" I was like, "Yeah." So I gave my dad my camera, and I was like, tears. I was, oh my god. And so we took a picture, and he said, "I just want to thank you again so much for my sign." He said, "That was very thoughtful." And I said, "You're so welcome, Justin." And then he walked away. And then I tweeted him the other day, and I was like, "I just want to thank you for everything, the shirt, the autograph, the picture. It was really sweet of you." And so I sent him the picture of me and him, and then I sent him the picture of me holding my signed sign. And he was like, "Thank you so much. That was so thoughtful of you." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's awesome." Okay, so that was amazing. And the last match was Wade Barrett and the Big Show in a steel cage match. And it was very back and forth, and Wade Barrett tried to escape the cage a couple times, and that was awesome. And then the Big Show did the 5-knuckle shuffle, and he went, "You can't see me," and brushed his shoulders off and slammed into Wade Barrett. And it was just great, and it was a very intense match. And the Big Show picked up the win, so I was really happy about that, and it was just such an amazing show. Oh, I'm so happy. And I want to thank you, send a thank you to one person. My friend Nikki gave this to me. I'm sorry about the glare. But that is the sweetest thing in the whole world. Nikki, I want to thank you so much. That was the sweetest thing. I absolutely love it. And that was amazing. It was so sweet of you. So I had the best time. I honestly couldn't be happier. It was just absolutely amazing. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye!